It's Thursday, the third Thursday of the month, and that means it's wordplay, which is awesome. So we have a really interesting evening for you guys. We have a special host who's even here from overseas, which is very cool. He does have roots in Prince George, but he's from Ireland, right? Yeah. And so he likes to mix a lot of different artistic mediums and like collaborate with art. So we are going to be at some point, I'm going to let Kieran decide when, but he's going to be inviting musicians up to the stage if you have an instrument or you know how to play the piano, and we'll do some spoken word with the music. And we've also invited Goji, who is a wonderful human being in our community, to come and do some painting while we're doing the poetry. So we're trying to mix a few different mediums. Now, we're going to keep this evening as fun as possible, but I have to discuss something for now that is also a bit about collaboration. I had a kind of a scary incident in this community yesterday morning, and I'm not going to talk about it too much because I'm a little emotional and whatnot, but it's really made me think about how we need to collaborate with each other on a regular basis in so many ways, because I think there's a lot of, I don't think that anybody hurts somebody just to hurt them. I think people hurt people out of fear and anger. And I think we have a lot of afraid and angry people out there. And they are dangerous, and we do need to do something about it. But I wrote something that kind of says what I want to do about it. And there's a poem as well. So I'm going to read that now, and then I'm going to hand things over to Kieran. And this might be a bit heavy, but I kept it as light as possible. And once I'm done, Kieran will come up and bring on the fun. So. Just gonna grab some water. Right? Yeah. Okay. So I wrote this as a post that I put on my Facebook, and I'm just gonna read it the way I wrote it, because I wrote it last night when I couldn't sleep, when I was trying to relax after everything that happened. So it says, I can't sleep, as I had an experience today that I don't want to talk about too much here. This world can be a crazy place, especially if you live in BC right now and are looking up at the apocalyptical smoky skies. Because of that, I want this to be a happy place for everyone to come to and enjoy art, including myself. I will say that yesterday morning I feared for my life, and that the law enforcement in my community has thus far not made me feel like they entirely have my back. Other than that, I would like to get back to spreading the kind of love that I believe might change things for the better. If you want details, I have put some stuff on Facebook, just so you know. I just wanted to do this for tonight. But I'm so far from being the only person who suffers under the oppression of the patriarchal system. And I've been a little hard on some of the men I know lately. On that note, I will say that I know so many wonderful men, but I also know so many men that are incredibly lost and unsure of how to use their masculinity in a positive way due to the mixed messages about gender and relationships that we all receive from all sides on a daily basis. One of the people I love most in the world has even implied that I was asking for it. I know this is only because she, yup, it's a woman, is so angry and scared for me because she loves me so much, but that doesn't make it hurt less. I also know that there's an element of truth in what she is saying, but as I said to someone in my community, I also know how unfair that truth is, as I have walked with it for far too long, as far too many other women have. I am going to see that my community becomes a little safer and try to make sure that no one else here ever feels this way. On this note, I also know of another brave sister who is fighting this on another level in her own hometown. There's a woman named Kinni Sandhar, and she's a friend of mine who lives in Edmonton, and she's working to change the laws and viewpoints regarding a woman's right to bare her breasts in public and not feel like a mouse in a room full of cats. She's been working really hard and taking a lot of horrible verbal and online abuse for her efforts. Like me, I'm sure she is exhausted, and I wanted to add a little light to her life. So I wrote her a poem in light of my own experience today, which is unfortunately one of many situations I have faced in my life. So I felt I needed to post this, and I had an idea. I have given away a lot of what I've written and made to charity so far in my work when I get paid. Remember, I am a lowly poet. And I can't keep doing that if I want to make a living at this stuff. But I am, however, willing to donate half of the proceeds of this poem to Kinni Sandhar, so she can donate it to a woman's charity of her choice, or use it to continue to free the nipple, as she likes to put it. I do have my email address online. I don't have my bookmarks with me today, but I do have some. But I'm Erin J. Bowman, the Panoptical Poet, and you can find me on Facebook. And if you want, I can talk to you afterwards about this if you're interested in getting a copy of this poem and donating to our cause. So, I'm going to read the poem now because I just think that's a good way to go. So thank you for listening. So this is called For Kinni Sandhar and So Many Other Beautifully Brave Women. In the words of Jessica Rabbit, I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. I think that even my father could see how my outer beauty would be the bane of my existence. Unlike most men, he wrapped it around all of the other things that made me beautiful and cherished them all together. But the world taught me to cover up, to hide behind fake wedding rings or baggy sweatshirts that made a poor shield against the arrows of ogling eyes and the words that cut into my soul and made me question the worth of myself. I want to love my long legs. I want to enjoy the curve of my calf as much as any man does. I want to bare my breasts whenever and wherever I am comfortable sharing them. I want to know that no means no, and that I know how to fit into my own skin the way I want to, way before I learn how to fit into the arms of a man. The hand of patriarchy keeps trying to push women down, to grind us into the dirt, and sometimes make us disappear altogether. But they didn't see, as they were pushing us into the soil, that we women were seeds. And by the goddess, we would all bloom beautifully, with or without the help of our fellow man. So thank you very much, and I'm going to turn it over to Kieran, who's going to, like I said, bring on the fun. And maybe, poetry can be serious too, but this will be an enjoyable evening. Kieran's an awesome human, and I'm really glad I met him.